Uh, Hi everyone. Today we are going to the key components of how the network works, and that is mainly on the IP address. And in this video, I will explain what they are and types of it and how it works in the background and etc. like that. First of all, what is IP address? IP address. Think of IP address as like a unique identifier is a number with each device on the internet is labeled. Every phone, laptop, or even smart home devices like smart fridge, laptop, phones, extra, all the things that is connected to the that is work using connected to the internet have a unique IP address, and it is used to communicate between the devices in a network. And just as your home needs a mailing address for the letters to reach you, so does your device for information to be sent and received on the internet via the IP address. And there are two types of IP address, and these are public IP address and private IP address. Mm. There exist public IPs which may be found by your internet browser. Internet browser. It's a internet provider. Like if you use a Wi-Fi router, then it will be on the public IP address. So everyone can connect to that IP address. But the IP addresses in our phone and laptops, etc., like that, they are private. So uh, it is not everyone can access that. And there are two types of IP addresses, and that is IPv4 and IPv6. And the older one is IPv4. It is the most widely used IP address. In this IPv4, it consists of four numbers separated by each dots. And but the more and more devices are continue coming online, the quicker that the pool of the available IPv4 addresses runs out, so that uh, IPv4 can only support about 4.3 billion addresses, which was fine on the earlier days. But now the number of devices that is coming online is increases. So uh, and this it doesn't have the capability to give all them the unique address. So the latest technology has introduced with the IPv6, and the IPv6 looks almost slightly more complicated than the IPv4, and which includes even using a mix of numbers and letters, like a very long number of numbers and letters. So it can supply up to 340 undecillion addresses. I think that's a number with 36 zeros following. So it won't be filled out for a while yet. Even with the all new smart TVs and wearables are releasing, it won't be filled up that easily because it is a very huge number. And the third thing I am going to talk about is how IP address work, the role of routers and DNS. But how exactly do these IP address work in the real world? There are two standouts, and that are routers and DNS. The routers are like traffic managers. They know how to direct data coming from your device and they toward the right destination on the internet. Like they guide the request to the correct destination. Uh, there's an example like if you type www.google.com, then the router will direct you to the server of Google. That's the work of router, and DNS is a short for domain name system, and it is the internet's phone book. Just like we have contacts, so we will search the contacts by name, but inside it, it says the number, etc. like that. So like that, DNS is a phone book for the internet. Like we can call them by the domain name, but inside that is actually connecting to the IP address of that server. Like it is used because people do not type in IP address to get the websites because honestly they are very confusing. Instead, we use domain names like google.com like that. So therefore, the DNS translates this human-friendly domain names into an IP address so that your browser knows where to go. For instance, each time you type google.com, the DNS translates this to something like that, an IP address like 142.250 like that, and connects you to the Google server. And uh, the fourth one is IP address privacy because mm, do you think if someone gets our IP address and what they can do with that? Because uh, let's conduct an IP address much like an ID, like it's a unique ID like a Aadhaar card or something like that. So it is a unique ID to your device. So it can therefore reveal information regarding your location, even trace some activities that you make online at times. So even if a hacker gets access to that, then he can know wherever you are, and also he can know which sites you are doing, which sites you are taking, and what you are doing in the online. So the things that we do in online, all that things he would also know that. So the privacy is a main factor for this. This is why people love VPN and proxy servers because they shield your real IP by providing you an alternate one, helping you to keep your identity and online privacy protected. It's something like a dispute, so your real location and activities cannot be seen by the interested parties such as advertisers or malicious actors. They feel like they show the location of another website, but we are actually in a different place like that. So they can't, the malicious actors can determine where we are. So it is the use of VPN, but the VPNs are also much limited. Like free VPNs do not give the users many features, and the paid VPNs are perfect. I think Winscribe is a very good option because it has 10 GB limit on 10 GB limit on per 1 month. You can use 10 GB in that VPN server for 1 month. And that's a better option if you choose to use VPN. And just as you would be responsible to walk naked on the street, protecting your IP address is one of the basic means by which you will safeguard yourself in a digital world of today, especially when accessing public networks from coffee shops or streets. Because public Wi-Fi is may have many malware attacks because let's suppose if we connected to a public Wi-Fi and we do a financial transaction. So that Wi-Fi provider or someone who's connected to that Wi-Fi can see what we are doing, and or he can know what are the traffics in this, and he can know what has done it. So be careful when doing especially financial transactions in a public Wi-Fi. It is very you have to be very cautious about that. Mm. The fifth one is the future of IP address. The future of IP address cannot be seen in an imagination because while the standard is IPv6, there is always room for new developing changes. IPv7 and probably other alternatives for addressing may appear, and this might be necessary because devices continue to populate. We don't know how many devices or how many different types of devices. So maybe one device can have multiple IP addresses or something like that. So you can use each one for different purposes. We don't know that. So, and due to that, maybe an advanced version of IPv6, that is IPv7, may be released in the coming days, no, the coming years. This because everything from a bulb to a refrigerator has now connected to the our Wi-Fi. So for that, each have to be unique. Each one have to have has each one should have a an IP address. So which is very maybe we will run out of the IPv6. So another could be the better privacy addressing in the systems could be designed in such a way that the users are guaranteed protection because the today's IPv6 also does not possess any security because when someone got that and they can still track it. But in the coming years, maybe an IP address that cannot be tracked or can be only used to connect to the servers, but not by any other means, can be developed. So this is also a reason. In conclusion, IP addresses are basic units of internet communication, just like the specific postal addresses assigned to every device. We have progressed from IPv4 to IPv6 for the purpose of supporting more devices, and we are using routers and DNS in order to keep our devices in a working rapport. There's a usability with IPs, however, this results in privacy issues. This makes a VPN an indispensable tool for the times we live and so on, and even more in the future if the internet keeps going through evolution and change. Thank you for listening. I hope this made clear about IP addresses, and thank you.